All right, welcome again to another edition of Smitty's Sweatshop. I'm Smitty. This is my sweatshop. Okay, got a new gadget today. Probably a lot of you have heard of it. It's nothing revolutionary, but it's new to me, so I thought I'd show it to you. It's called a centering drill bit. Pretty basic, but I have a project where I'm building some kitchen cabinets, and I had to get the exact right positions of the holes to match something else. Anyway, let's take a look at the gadget. I'll show you what it is. Okay, there it is. There's my little gadget, and that end, of course, goes in the drill, but it's spring-loaded, and therefore it will be depth limiting, so you can adjust the correct depth with this set screw right here. More on that in a minute. But basically, this outer part here does not rotate, only the drill rotates. That brass nozzle is a guide, and you put this whole gadget into a jig that you make for your application, and then when you press down on your drill as it's turning, the bit comes out of that nozzle, and so it stays directly in the center. You can see how it's exactly in the middle of that thing when it comes out into your piece. Alright, the outer circle here is a 1/2 inch, and this little inner nozzle is 3/8 of an inch. You'll see how I use that on my jig here in a second. So here's the project. This is a kitchen cabinet turned over on its side, but basically what I'm doing is we're doing some custom cabinets, and so I won't have the benefit of these pre-manufactured side panels where the holes are exactly in the right places, so I'm going to have to reproduce those holes. If you look closely, this hole is 19.5 millimeters from the edge. This hole is 32 millimeters from the first hole, and then they're on 32 millimeters this direction too, so that's a 32 millimeter square. The hole at the far back is 256 millimeters from this guy. So basically it's all got to be exactly right. Now I don't have to do all those holes in my application, but I do for whatever shelf or hinge or drawer. I've got to do 1, 2, 3 holes in exactly the right place. So I made a jig for that, and here's the jig. I used one of those blue plastic squares. They had aluminum, but I like this one so I could drill my holes in there. This is going to be my jig, so put it up against there, and I measured exactly the right positions along here for my holes. As you can see, those line up pretty good. Anyway, let's take a quick look at the hole pattern there. You can see it's a recess. The larger diameter is 1/2 inch, and then that seat is a 3/8 inch diameter hole. So the jig holds the drill bit like that. It's going to be straight, so then when you drill it in, the hole will be in the exact center of where your jig is, and it's going to be slammed up against the edge. So once you mark where you want it, you just put it right there, and the hole will be in the right place. Alright, we'll do a sample here. Okay, here's my sample board. This is a piece of trash. I don't need it for anything. You can't see it, but I have marked, well, you can't see it, I have marked my line on here. That's 32 millimeters from this edge. So we'll take my jig, and this is where you just have to eyeball it. Okay, you can see that I've clamped it in. You'll just have to trust me that it's in the right spot. So I'm going to hold this board down, line the deal up, and here we go. Depth limiting. Do another one. And the last one. Okay. All right, so there are the holes right there, there, and those are in the exact place, and you can, again, you have to trust me, but I did this prior to, and I put this drawer slide on there, and it lines up just fine. There's one, there's one, there's one, so that matches that, and leveled it out. It's exactly right. All right, I'm going to show you one little frustrating thing about these bits. Yes, you can change the drill bit out by undoing that set screw, and you can adjust the depth by playing with that set screw, but there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 7 pieces, 8 if you count the set screw. When you unscrew that, the whole thing springs apart, and then you've got these 8 pieces. And to set that set screw, you've got to hold all these pieces together with one hand here, holding the spring down, setting the depth of the drill bit. There's a collar inside. The whole thing's a mess. All right, so I made this gadget. It's just 2 PVC pieces. It's a 1/2 inch male coupler. This is a bushing, 1/2 inch female threaded there. That's 3/4 inch bushing to change 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch PVC pipe. So what you do is, first, don't knock the camera over. What you do is you put the drill in there, take the bushing, slide it over, compress the spring, screw it together. Now you've got that holding the spring down, and you can monkey with this, undo the set screw, put the drill in, tighten the set screw, and it's all holding still. All right, that's the one thing I'm going to send to the manufacturer to show them how I had to monkey with that. Other than that, I love it. All right, hope you enjoyed that short demo on the centering drill bit. It's a gadget I haven't seen before. Glad I got one, and I'm definitely going to make use of it on making these kitchen cabinets. All right, thanks again. Join me again someday soon in Smitty's Sweatshop. Talk to you later.